What's up, everybody? Welcome back to our channel.
Hope you all are doing well. Thank you guys for coming back and checking in with us.
On this episode of What the Fuck is Going On in America, guys, Biden dropped out of the race.
Oh, yeah.
Race.
Yeah, pretty much the
Sounds
election race,
funny.
yeah.
And we're in July. We got just over 3 months before we have to vote.
When do we actually start voting? Do you know? I don't remember.
November, no?
I thought it was like a month before.
I don't know. Roughly 3 months.
Yeah.
So we have to start voting.
I don't know. It's tough. We really don't have many good options here, if at all.
And the DNC, I don't think they've announced who is technically replacing him, but
No.
everyone's endorsing. What? Kamala
They
Harris?
haven't. They haven't announced it. They're gonna have a DN a meeting or whatever. Yeah.
So that'll be fun. We'll let you know what goes on with that, even though I'm sure you guys will see it before we say anything.
Yeah. This is episode 215. So today we're going to do a video called The Best French Food, What to Eat in France. It's by Walter's World. I'll put the original in the description.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're here
We're
in
back with
Paris,
this
and
guy.
today we're going to talk about are the most French food that you can have when you're here in Paris. And I'll be honest, these are like the French staples that you can find all over the country, but if you want to make sure you hit like the most important things, these are it. But I have to warn you, if you're coming to France, every region has their own specialty. So if you're going to Normandy, it's going to have some different specialties, like the cider that's out there, the oysters, versus if you're going to go to Nice in the south with the different seafoods they have down there. So just want to give a heads up. So this is kind of like your go-to Frenchiest of the French food to have when you're here. And if you're looking for a starter, you can't get
Frenchie of
more
the
French than
Frenchiest.
escargot. Yes,
Ugh.
snails, okay? If you haven't had snails before, they're fantastic.
Is that-
And the thing is, they're just
Is that like pesto?
It doesn't look like pesto. It looks like something else. I've never had escargot, and I used to be so put off by it. But I don't know. One day I had a realization. I was like, Linda, you eat like mussels and shrimp and stuff. It can't be that far off.
That actually makes sense.
So I think one day I would try it. If it was at a nice restaurant, though.
Are you supposed to
I don't
just
want
like?
no street snails. Huh? Sorry.
Are you supposed to just like suck them out of the shell?
I guess. I've seen people suck them out of the shell or like shoot them like oysters almost. And I've also seen people scoop them.
Interesting.
Again, I've never had them.
Well, if we go to France, we'll definitely try
That's
them.
the only place I think I
Yeah.
would ever try it.
Yeah, me too.
Pound and butter when you're here and you have them, and they'll give you this weird little like contraption to hold it because that pan's gonna be hot. So you
Whoa.
grab it,
Shell.
use a little fork, poke them out, eat them. Kids love them, adults love them, everyone loves them. If you haven't had them before, you're gonna find them on menus all over Paris. So get that. Another good starter, or if you're not really super hungry, you're looking for something just to keep you going until a great dinner at night, is of course French onion soup, or as they call it here, just onion soup, soup à l'oignon. You could have that, and what it is like you have the beef broth with the onions in there, and there's bread and the cheese on top, and oh my God, it's so good.
I
But I
love a
will
French
tell you,
onion
when you
soup.
get it, be careful, because when you kind of poke it through the cheese and through the bread to get to the soup, it's going to be like boiling hot. So be aware of that if you're going to get it for your kids, okay? Or for yourself, because I've lost a few taste buds over the years,
I've never tried French onion soup.
It's delicious. It's very rich and, like he said, hot.
Yeah,
Don't burn your tongue.
I'll definitely burn my mouth on it. That's
You
just
would.
it's
I
just
don't
what
think
I
it's
do.
something that you would order.
Yeah, probably not.
Brian's not a big soup guy.
No, not really.
I love
being
soup.
too excited for my French onion soup, okay? Now, another kind of
That would
quickie
totally
you
be
can
you.
get when you're here, and you'll actually see it on the trains, on the SNCF trains as well, is the croque monsieur, which is basically the French ham and cheese sandwich, but like
That looks
grilled
good,
ham
though.
and cheese sandwich, and it's fantastic. You got bread, ham,
it looks
cheese,
like a
it's like
pizza.
Gruyere over the top, or Emmental. Like people use different
It's like
cheeses on it, but
breadsticks.
it is so good. But you're not really always going to eat it with your hands. You might cut it with a fork and knife sometimes, especially if you get it for kids or on the train. I would recommend that to keep your
I'm just gonna say I don't think you do, but if any French people are watching or anything, do you guys eat pizza with a fork and knife? I doubt it. But I don't know. Let us know.
From getting all the greasiness there, but that's a very easy, like typical snack thing you're going to see. Now, if you want another really good snack that you might get at a bakery or you might get at a shop or a bistro, quiche Lorraine. Okay, this is a ham and cheese quiche. All right, it is the most popular quiche. It is the go-to
I've
quiche
never
to have
tried
when
quiche.
you are here, and you can get it as a
It's
slice.
like
You
an
get a little
egg
version of it, you get a
pie.
whole one, whatever you want. But you'll see that a lot of places, and I do recommend you getting it. It's actually
By the way, for anyone who wants to come for me, for Brian not trying a lot of these things, he's not a picky eater. He just doesn't know what he doesn't know, and if he doesn't know, he's just not gonna like it.
Yeah.
And that's about that.
one of the foods I require myself to have when I first come here. So when we got here the other day,
My mom
I went to the
loves a
bakery
quiche.
and I got myself a croissant and a piece of quiche Lorraine because it is a must when you're here. And speaking of those croissants, that is another thing you should have. You need to go to a bakery when you're here, and there's 3 things I
Ugh,
recommend
so
getting.
much
1,
bread.
get a butter croissant. Look, it is better than any crescent roll you had back home. You want to have one of those. Then there's pain au chocolat, which is basically
Ugh,
a
that looks so
chocolate
good.
croissant. It is fantastic. You want to have that.
That does
And
look good.
then you just want to grab a baguette. And I know it sounds silly when people say, "Oh, just grab a baguette and cheese and sit out here on the Seine and or on the river and look at and take in the sights." Really, the baguettes here are that good. The bread is fantastic here. Okay, so grab a baguette and some butter, and honestly, that can be a lunch because it's so good. But if you want to spice up the lunch a little bit, another thing you have to have
I
when you
don't,
come
guys.
here.
I swear, I feel like I'm the only person who does not get the baguette hype.
Well, we haven't tried a baguette in
I know.
France.
Obviously, I will have to go to France and try.
Yeah,
some,
I think
but
if we do that, we'll get it.
to me, I'm just like, it just tastes like stale bread to me.
But I've had something here of like a baguette, and it was like, what? Why?
It just tastes stale.
Yeah, it wasn't that
like
good.
it's like hard as a rock. I mean, it's probably better in France.
Are the
I'm sure.
cheeses. And you'll see the fromagerie,
Goddamn.
the cheese shops around. And so you can go, it's literally like there'll be a bakery here and there'll be a cheese shop here and maybe a butcher in between. And you can get your meat, your cheese, and your bread all together. And there's tons and tons of great cheeses from all over France. Just pick one that looks good to you, or 2 or 3, and have that. But the cheeses that are here
Not the one
are
with the nuggets.
unbelievable, okay? Now, if you're looking for
That's
another
Italy.
quick snack when you're going by, I know I'm talking about
No,
the
but
bakery
same
stuff a lot,
areas,
but
babe. They
they're
sell-
important, are tarts. There's tarte tatin, which is a like
Ooh, I
apple
love
Oh, I love
tart, but
tarts.
Jocelyn's favorite is the lemon tart or tarte
Oh,
citron,
yeah.
which is fantastic. I like pear tarts. So you have a lot of these little sweet, cakes you can have, which are wonderful, or tarts, I should say. And I know if we're talking about sweets and nice little easy things to eat, I think one of the ones that's really important, my kids would probably kill me if I did not tell you about it, is just grabbing a crepe on the street, getting a crepe with Nutella inside. It is one of those must-haves when you're here in Paris, and you'll see the creperies all over. You can go inside and you can have the crepe with Nutella, the sweet one, or you can have a galette, which is a savory one. You can do that as well. So there's lots of different options for you, but that is one thing you need to have no matter where you are in Paris or France. If you're looking for more of a sit-down meal kind of thing, of course, there's always steak frites. So steak entrecôte with fries. It sounds
That looks
silly,
so
but it
good.
sounds simple,
That's
but
up
it's
your alley, yeah.
fantastic. That's always a great go-to.
God,
Really
that meat
great
looks
beef
so
here in
good.
France and in Paris, okay? Another great one is duck, the confit de canard, which is probably the best. It's like slow roasted duck.
That's something I've never tried either. Duck. I want to try it. I want to try that and
He
venison.
has. You've tried duck, babe.
I
You
did.
have, yes. This is what I mean. He forgets what he eats unless it's like pizza, chicken tenders,
Shut
a burger, or a steak.
Shut up. That's
oh
not
my
true.
God, it is incredible. And when you have that when you're here, everything is better with everything is better in the world. And then if you're here in Paris, look, France is wine. And when you're here in Paris, you'll have the option to buy wines from
Yeah.
all over the country.
like wine.
And so please do that. Enjoy the French wines when you are here. Because even if you're just sitting at a cafe having a glass of wine with your croque monsieur or just, a little snack, it is something that just makes you feel like you're here in Paris, okay? So another thing you're going to
That's
see is
good.
quite famous here is foie gras, which is, goose liver, pate, basically. And some people have very strong feelings about it, but it's something you can
Ooh.
have when you are here. I know I've had it multiple times. What you'll get the pate, and they'll give you some bread. You
That
put it
doesn't
on
look
there,
good.
maybe with a little jam or a chutney on it
People
as
love
well.
it,
It
though.
can be fantastic. And there's just so many great foods you're gonna have when you're here. And I gotta let you know, when you go out to eat in France or in Paris, I mean, there's so many options you have that asking someone where's a good place to eat is like asking what air should I breathe if it's all good, okay? So you have a lot of options. One thing I will say is if you're gonna come to eat in Paris, if you're gonna be here on weekends, make sure you make a reservation for dinner because the restaurants book out. And restaurants might not
I didn't
have
know
like
that.
every 15-minute sittings. It might be, we have a 7 o'clock sitting and a 9 o'clock sitting, okay? So if you have kids, realize that some
That's
of the
not that
restaurants don't serve at like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. Their kitchen might not be open. That's why some of those snacks I talk about, those are gonna be easier to get during the day. So be aware of that. Also, know when you go to eat in France, it's not about fast eating. Yes, they have Quick, which is their version of McDonald's, which actually is awesome. If you're looking for fast food, Quick is great.
The kids are like,
This is so off topic. I can't imagine this man parenting these kids. He's like Santa Claus.
But honestly, you need to have patience when you're here. Getting your menu, sitting down, getting your food, getting your water, getting your appetizer and
Oh
your
my
main
gosh,
course and
I
your
can't
desserts
imagine having a
that you have
kid.
to have every course because it's France and you're gonna love it. But you have to have
I
patience.
can't imagine having a kid knowing how slow time moves in Europe
yeah, I
and
know.
how long you can be at a restaurant.
They better be patient, kids. That's
Kids
it.
out here, they do not have the
Yeah.
patience for that.
Speaking of kids,
Oh yeah, we were
you should jump
babysitting.
over to our vlog channel and subscribe if you want to see our special guest that we have on.
We babysat my niece this past weekend, and it was.
with it, okay? So be aware of that. And also, I know I say get reservations on the weekend, but if you're here in
I
the
like
summer
patience.
during tourist season, it actually wouldn't be a bad idea to make reservations during the week as
Frog
well.
legs.
Okay, so I've got a little hungry talking
Damn, that
about all
boy's
this,
eating
and
them
it's
up.
about 1 o'clock, so I need to go grab myself maybe some French
What?
onion soup or maybe I'm gonna go get the duck. I think I'm gonna go for the duck today. Anyway, I wish you all the best. Have a great time here
Get
in
the
Paris.
duck.
If you want more, we've got safety advice for Paris, the don'ts of Paris, scams of Paris, tourist traps of Paris. Basically, anything you want to know from getting to CDG to Paris and
Attention,
more,
pickpockets.
we've got on our website at waltersworld.com, or just find us here on YouTube and put in Paris Walters World. Lots of stuff will show up. So thank you to all our patrons and members who help make honest travel videos like this possible.
Set
If
up
you want to
links.
learn how to, go to patreon.com/waltersworld to find out more.
All right. Walter's
Walter.
World. Walter's World. Walter's.
He should have done it. Yeah. Now I'm hungry again.
Yeah, that looked pretty good, but I don't. Something in like my opinion or like my observance is, I feel like Paris and France might not have the best food in Europe.
Oh, shots fired.
I think I don't know.
I
don't-
think that when it comes to treats,
their
the
bread
paste-
might be the best. Yeah.
bread, pastry,
Yeah.
like all that stuff. That stuff looks good.
Spain was pretty
But
good.
I feel like,
food-wise.
babe, France is like the culinary capital of like the world.
Yeah, you're
It
right.
has to have good food. But yeah, a lot of chefs go to France to train and stuff like that. So
That is true. I mean, I've seen that on like the documentaries we watch and the other stuff we watch for like cooking stuff.
when the fuck do we watch Cookie Duck?
I'm tired.
wasn't
I'm
there.
sorry. Oh, but yeah, you guys go jump over to our vlog channel, okay, and subscribe and watch the videos. Go watch the video. I'm gonna see if by this time that this comes out, I learned how to put the little where they could click it on the thing. If not, sorry. Either way, jump over to our vlog channel, like and subscribe to this channel for more bids. All right.
Thanks for watching.